Good morning and happy Saturday, travelers. I'm going to be bringing you an open reading, but before we get started, I wanted to thank all of you who've signed up for my new newsletter over on Substack. I'm really shocked by the number of people who've signed up, but I was talking to Jessica Adams and she's like, girl, you are a writer and you just need to be writing. And I used to write a lot and then I just kind of stopped for a while. It's going through some stuff. So I want to thank you guys so much for signing up. I will be linking the link to my free newsletter in the description underneath the video here. For those of you who've come over and you may be new to my channel, I'd like to thank you for coming over. For my subscribers who have been sticking with me all these years, I want to thank you as well. I am working on the November readings to be posted over on the website. My camera broke, and so I'm using the Facebook camera on this computer. I can't believe I paid all this money for this MacBook Pro and it has a crappy computer, but it is what it is. And so I've ordered a new camera. It should be here tomorrow. So I'm going to apologize, first of all, for the quality of this video, for the video quality, for the visual quality, and apologize for the way the videos are going to look over on the website. Once those monthlies are all posted, I'm going to be writing a new article on the in the newsletter, and so I will be linking and I'll be letting you know when those are done with the newsletter. Okay, so again, for those of you who are new to the channel, an open reading is simply that. I'm going to open the cards and we're just going to see what the story is all about. So this is not for any particular sign. It's not any particular subject matter that I'm looking at. We're just going to open the cards and we're going to see what they have to say. I am using today the Radiant White deck. Coming up this week, I'm going to be doing a Casanova. We have not heard from him in a long time. And then we're going to clarify with Levita Sabila. And depending on the subject matter, what the cards are talking about, whatever the story is, then we'll choose a oracle card to close the reading. So I've already done some meditation and shuffling, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and I'm going to shuffle and rifle one more time, and then we're going to lay the cards. Okay, so here we go. Again, I do apologize for the quality of this. I hope it's going to be okay for you. I hope the camera doesn't shut down, because it was doing that and I couldn't figure out why. And nobody at Apple could tell me. All right, so here we go. Nine cards down. Knight of Wands. And I know that's so crappy you can't really see it, and I apologize. Oh, Two of Cups. Okay. Four of Wands. Interesting. Next row down. Page of Cups. Eight of Wands. Wow. Four of Swords. Interesting. Interesting. Now I have two fours. Last row down. Oh wow. Four of Coins. So three fours. The Justice card. Oh wow. And the Three of Swords. Well, my oh my. I hope you guys can see all of these cards, because I'm just working with what I got. Okay, and what is the energy over the entire reading? It is the Chariot card. Very interesting. The Chariot card is a number 7. So if I had to speak about the entire energy of the reading, this is a card about, this is a situation in which you may be questioning yourself. There may be a bit of self-doubt. There may be where you feel that things didn't quite go as they should have, or as you planned. However, the Chariot card really is a card about, if you focus your energies, your emotions, keep those things in check, you absolutely can get to where it is you're trying to go. We know that the chariot is a war vehicle, right? So it could be a long, dusty, bumpy, dangerous journey. But eventually, if you keep hold of those reins and keep your whatever your end goal is in focus, you will get to where you are going. This is about the balance. Now, I have 2 court cards. I have 1, 2, 3 wands, 2 cups. Oh, 1, 2, 3 wands, correct. 2 cups, a pentacle, and 2 swords cards. The way the cards are read are past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. Now, for those of you who have been with me a while, you know that I read the knights and pages as news and or messages, right? Traditionally, they do represent people, but for me, they always represent messages and news. Now, this Knight of Wands can sometimes be someone coming back from your past, somebody who just showed up, coming back from your past, but you can guarantee that when that energy shows up, that person is not going to stick around. They come in like fire, like a lightning bolt, and then they kind of leave, okay? This is a more fleshed out message than this Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is also a message, but it's a kind of a tentative message. It's a first step kind of opening salvo kind of a thing. So we see that the message goes from something fully fleshed to something a bit tentative, okay? Also, it's a surprise. And the reason why I always say it's a surprise, that fish in the cup always is, to me, says that whatever this thing is, it came up out of nowhere. It's kind of like a surprise. It's not the energy of the tower, like out of the blue, but it just kind of swam up to the top out of nowhere. All right. I have these 3 4s here. And that's really interesting. It's always, important when the numbers repeat themselves. So give me 1 second. Let me give you the meaning of the 3 4s. Because each one of these 4s is something different. Okay. Separately. That's what I'm trying to say. 3 4s implies that you're being overly cautious about everything. All right. That's one of the interpretations. And the other interpretation, if I can find what do I do with my documents? Here we go. The other meaning of the 3 4s says 3 4s, a house move. Well, I agree with that. That's the one that I was looking at. And the reason why I was going to say that is because it looks as though here's a couple, or at least a partnership. Now, the 2 of Cups can represent a romantic partnership, but it can also represent a business partnership. It's basically the idea of 2 people who come together with mutual respect and understanding. They are more than the sum or than they are apart. I think I'm trying to say that right. This is the shacking up card. This card doesn't necessarily mean anything about marriage. Okay, this could just be a partnership. But this is the shacking up card. It's also the card that's known as the stable foundations card. It also speaks about celebrations. So this very well could be that, maybe somebody ran off and eloped. Okay. All right. Got married, moved in together quickly in a hurry. But then we see here this Page of Cups. The message devolves. Whatever this Page of Cups is, it sets something in motion. Here, the 8 of Wands. Now, the 8 of Wands always speaks to travel. Okay. It also speaks to messages and news, something coming quite quickly. Usually when the 8 of Wands shows up, it says that a situation's about to change. It's going to be changing quite rapidly. And whatever the energy is or whatever the situation, you're just going to have to hang on because it happens. Normally, this does represent some kind of travel, and I would say it does here, particularly with the Chariot and the Knight. But then we come over to the 4 of Swords. This is the card of rest, of meditation. To me, there was some conflict here. Before it was a 4, it was a 3. See the 3 swords on the wall there? Swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. So there's been some kind of disconnected, maybe between what you wanted, what you were doing, what you wanted and desired, to what you think or thought would happen. Okay? This card can sometimes be removing yourself from a situation that was full of conflict. And then we come to the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is almost exactly like the Four of Wands in that it represents security, financial security, and stability. It is about conserving and saving, but it can also be the card of someone being stingy and miserly, right? If someone's not willing to share their time with you, okay, they're not willing to share anything else with you. They're not going to share their money. They're not going to share their love and affection. All right. So we're going to take a look at that card. But then we have the Justice card, the card of karmic fairness and balance. This is a card that says that no matter what has happened, no matter how horrible it is, no matter how painful it is, that it is a situation that is just and right. Even if we feel we get the short end of the stick, right? Karma says that it's equal and the karma balances itself out. But then we see this Three of Swords. Here, we go from the 4 to the 3. So remember I was saying there was a conflict here, some kind of disappointment and sadness and sorrow. It actually devolves into this Three of Swords here. And the Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak. It's a card of sorrow. It is a card of disappointment and bitterness, sometimes even regret. So I think what I'm looking at is a situation where two people got together. They moved in a hurry. Everything was rushed. And now that they are together, they're finding that things are not exactly as they wanted them to be. And this could be the idea that this will quickly move into a separation. Now, I can't look at these two cards because traditionally they represent people. What I can do is look at all of these pip cards here as they relate to the Justice card. Okay. Let me get my book. Okay, so we're gonna look at the Two of Cups first. That's the Ace. Okay, so the Two of Cups. Nothing about the Two of Cups. Four of Wands. Nothing about the Four of Wands. Eight of Wands. This is some kind of financial situation. Nothing about the Eight of Wands. Now, the Four of Swords. It's miscommunication. Nothing about the four. They're going to make me work. The Four of Swords. The Four of Pentacles. It's really an interesting spread. Nothing about the Four of Pentacles. And now the Three of Swords. Nothing about the Three of Swords. Okay. Now, there's something else about this Three of Swords. I'm going to take a look at that. That's what this looks like to me. And as you can see, we went from heated excitement to rest and separation to, okay, that's it. Because sometimes this four can be about boredom and stagnation. Same thing here. We moved in together, but this news, it drops a level. And it ends in this Three of Swords. And then we have this down the center, something quickly moving to a justice. So this could even be a legal issue, a formal separation where one will have to move. That house move, looking to move house, a house move. Maybe you're going to have to move out, or maybe somebody else has said, you know what, I don't want to live with you anymore. I thought this was going to be great, but it's not. Let me take a look. And it happens rapidly and quickly. Both the getting together and the moving in, and then the leaving. It just, all of a sudden, it just devolves. I'm going to look at this Four of Pentacles. The Dottore. The Denari. And the Letterato. Indeed, specialist help is going to be required because there are some financial and property issues here. Waiting to speak to somebody about this. Maybe this is what you're saving your money for, or maybe this is the idea that the situation has stagnated because you gotta wait to hear back from someone. The Dottore is always someone who's a specialist. So this could be an accountant. This could be he could even be a lawyer, really. He could be anybody who's gone to school and he's gotten a degree in something and he's known to be specialist, or a situation that requires specialist help. Here with the Denari does represent money and things of personal value and things of sentimental value. As you can see, they're locked up. It can sometimes represent documents, papers, and books. But what's interesting about this card is that it shows up in the suit of cups and not the suit of coins, because we know that most times, particularly in relationships, it is financial issues that cause problems. The Letterato is simply, this is the man waiting. So this is somebody waiting on I don't know, to hear back from this specialist about how he's going to, how we're going to divide up stuff, or how much is this whole situation going to cost. What I don't see necessarily is this idea of what causes the breakdown. Okay, this is what I don't see. Let me take a look at both the 3 and the 4 of Swords together, because we go from something we can celebrate to this idea of isolation and then sadness. L'amica, consumed with jealousy, and the stanza. That's quite interesting. The L'amica basically just represents any friend. It could be a colleague, a sister. It could even be you. If you're watching this, let me try to give you some traits of the L'amica here. The traits are basically, it is the card that represents friendship, loyalty, and support. Okay, this is really what it says. This is, she's neither good nor bad. That's really what the card says. But here with the desperate jealousy, which is a negative card, I think he's the 8 of the desperate jealousy, is an interesting card. Now, I don't know if this card is telling me that someone has come in between the two of you. I only have 2 court cards here. Okay, but it represents dejection, apathy, anguish, and a lack of enthusiasm for the future. It can even sometimes indicate suicidal tendencies, or basically that someone lacks the spiritual resources to pull through difficult times and hardships. It indicates not seeing beyond the present moment and even being stuck in the past. It symbolizes the advanced stage of something, and it warns of a toxic environment and toxic people around you. It can even be that there's someone in that group of people who turns out to be false, revealing that nice people were deeply envious and have been scheming behind your back to cause you ruin. It indicates treachery, slander, gossip, and envy. It is another card that warns of danger coming from your circle of acquaintances. In love, it indicates extreme jealousy, envy, possessiveness, as well as a self-centered love, selfish love centered around self-gratification or social climbing. It indicates a lack of trust and a loss of self-respect. Now, it can also warn you that you may be about to trust someone who will ultimately lead you to your ruin. It heralds scandals, slander, gossip, and backstabbing. And with the stanza, which I find to be quite interesting because the stanza is the card of the rune. It speaks to a meeting. It is the Ace of Coins. And it simply speaks to a meeting. Hold on. Let me get there. A very important meeting of a sensitive nature. It can be about two people who know each other very well, like a best friend, but it can also be the card of confessions and secrets. Okay? It also has a connection to your social life, company, acquaintances, and friends. It is a very dynamic card and indicates that situations are rapidly evolving and will soon bring a different set of events. Therefore, this card tells of upcoming news, developments, and even possible visitors. It's about basically opening your heart to another and telling them a secret. Okay? That's what this card is. But what it doesn't tell me is what is the meaning behind this. What caused this situation? I don't know. So with that being said, I think what I'm going to do is to pull one Heart Oracle Tarot and perhaps a Romance Angel. Oh, well, that flew out. Let's but it flew out upside down. That's the Sun card. Yes, someone feels as though their heart has burst open and all of the light is just bleeding out. I think that was given to me in that way to signify the emotion behind this. It is the World card. And again, you can see there's a heart there in the center, but I don't know if you can see the tree branches that are coming out of it. So something deep-rooted. I'm going to pull one Romance Angel card. Yeah, someone feels all upside down, as if all the vitality and the life is draining from them over this situation. I just don't know what it's about. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Well, that's interesting. What number is that? Oh, it's in the back of the book. Hold on, let's read it. This card reveals that religion and spirituality are subtle but important factors in your love life. Perhaps you are looking for a relationship with a partner who shares your spiritual beliefs. If so, this card comes to tell you, as guidance, to seek your new partner at the church, temple, or meeting place associated with your faith. If you are currently with a partner who isn't spiritually minded or whose beliefs differ markedly from yours, you may feel dissatisfied. You may also be influenced by family traditions that expect you to marry within your own culture or religion. The Romance Angels are helping you address this issue, and they ask you to remain true to yourself during the process. Decide which factors you will and won't accept in your relationship and what your priorities are for your partner. For instance, it is possible that your love interest may live the spiritual principles that you find important, for example, forgiveness, charity, kindness, and the like, without having the same religious affiliations you do. The angels remind you that your partner, like everyone, is a child of the divine. Everyone is spiritual in truth because everyone is spirit. Although it is not up to you to change your partner to match your spiritual path, your affirmations, prayers, and visualizations can have a positive influence on both you and your relationship. I don't know if that may be the issue. I can say that I have seen sometimes the Knight of Wands show up as someone who's of a different race or religion or ethnic background or even an educational status. I have seen that. Okay, kind of not necessarily like the opposites attract, but just someone who's different. That's a heavy Sagittarian energy there. Okay, I'm going to read for you the Embrace card, and then we're going to close out the reading. It is another major arcana. There are two major arcanas here. It is the end of the cycle, the Embrace card. When it comes to love, the universe is smiling upon you at this time. Energies are moving and shifting, coming together to give you exactly what you need and want. Your efforts to clarify your heart's desire, to be present in current relationships, and to actively manifest new relationships are now bearing fruit. In this moment, you are in a position to achieve all that you have dreamed of regarding matters of the heart. Your dreams are ready to manifest. Allow all of the pieces to gently fall into place. Do not resist, but embrace. Your own personal energies are combining to bring you to a new level of being whole and perfect. This will allow your relationships to fall into place beautifully as well. To support this process of integration, work with the concept of having an open and grateful heart. Express appreciation for the many blessings in your life. As you go through your day, be aware of the grace that surrounds you. Grace shows itself in many ways, both large and small. The larger manifestations of grace may be your family, your health, and your home. However, there are many smaller manifestations of grace that can also be acknowledged. Appreciate the warmth of the sun on your face, the cool breeze blowing through your hair, the lovely flower growing from a crack in a stone wall. By being grateful, you surround yourself with contentment, and through the law of attraction, you will welcome more of the same, including fulfilling relationships. The affirmation is, I acknowledge my many blessings and am open to receiving my heart's desire. Remember when I said that this card? It could just be that the relationship was not meant to be, no matter how much you wanted it to be. And so if this is a situation where it happened quickly and now it's falling apart quickly, then know that that's karma. The karma is settling itself. And what that shows you is that you are capable of love. You are capable of having relationships, but it just isn't with the person that you wanted it to be with, right? Because remember when I was talking to you and I said that if somebody won't share their time with you, they won't share anything else with you. In order for a relationship to be successful, the other person not only has to want the same things that you want, they have to want them with you. And if they don't want them with you, it's not going to work. So that's what I have for you. I do hope that message helped. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Be good to yourselves. Namaste.